Hello everyone, today we're talking about solving polynomial equations. So if you recall, we can use the zero product property and it tells us that if AB equals 0, then either A equals 0 or B equals 0. And this is the same case if we had multiple numbers together. So if A, B, C equals 0, then that would mean A equals 0, B equals 0, or C is equal to 0. So we can find the solutions of a polynomial by factoring the polynomial and applying the zero product property. So let's go through some examples. Here I want to solve the equation 2x cubed minus 12x squared plus 18x is equal to 0. Right now I can't tell what the solutions are from looking at this, but I can factor it and then find the solutions from there. So first, I always want to check, see if there's a GCF. I see there is a GCF of 2x, so I want to factor that out first. And that leaves me with x squared minus 6x plus 9 is equal to 0. And now I'm going to factor this x squared minus 6x plus 9. Here my a is equal to 1, so I'm just looking for two numbers that multiply to 9 and add to equal to negative 6. So it's multiplying to a positive but adding to a negative, so that means all my factors are negative. So I have negative 1, negative 9, negative 3, and negative 3. And so I have that negative 3 plus negative 3 gets me negative 6. So this leaves me with 2x times x minus 3 times x minus 3 is equal to 0. And now to find my solutions, I can just set each of these factors equal to 0 and solve. So I have 2x is equal to 0, x minus 3 is equal to 0, x minus 3 is equal to 0. And solving all of these, I have x equals 0. These are really just the same equation. I need to add 3 to both sides. And I get x equals 3. So my two answers are x equals 0 and 3, where 3 is just repeated twice. Okay, let's look at another one. So here I have 3x to the fourth plus 12x squared is equal to 6x cubed. First, in order to factor this, I need all of my terms on one side of the equation. So I'm going to subtract 6x cubed from both sides. And I'm going to keep this in standard form, so I'm going to put the x cubed in the middle to get 3x to the fourth minus 6x cubed plus 12x squared is equal to 0. Now, to see if I have a GCF, I do see that 3 can go into all of them and x squared, so I'm going to factor out my 3x squared. And that leaves me with x squared minus 2x minus 4. Plus 4, sorry, is equal to 0. And then now I need to go ahead and figure this one out. Well, x squared minus 2x plus 4, if I'm looking for two factors that multiply to 4 and add to negative 2, I see none of those do, so this actually can't be factored. So my next step here is actually use the quadratic formula to figure out what my answer is for this x squared minus 2x plus 4 equals 0. So using quadratic formula, I have x equals negative b, so my b is negative 2, so this would be positive 2, plus or minus the square root of b squared, minus 4 times a, which is 1, times c, which is 4, all over 2 times a, which is 1. Well, negative 2 squared, I get 4. 4 minus 16, I'm going to get a negative 12 in here. Well, the square root of negative 12, that can actually be simplified. So if I do the square root of 12, that's the same thing as the square root of 4 times the square root of 3, which is equal to 2 square root of 3. But since I have that negative, remember we have to take out an I with it. So this is going to be 2i square root of 3 over 2. And I say that this can be simplified to 1 plus or minus I root 3. So that's one of my solutions. However, I need to make sure I don't forget about this 3x squared is equal to 0. If I solve this, I get that x is equal to 0. So that means that my solutions for this one are x equals 0, 1, plus or minus I root 3.